Yo, what's up, family? Check this one out. Today I'm gonna do this video here. I'm gonna title it, Learned Bad Behavior. Just 3 words, learned bad behavior. And when I'm talking about that, we're dealing with the word cognitive. And as always, you know I love to give you a word of the day. So that's gonna be the word of the day dealing with the title of this video, Learned Bad Behavior. Now, if you look up the word cognitive, what does cognitive mean? Cognitive means conscious mental activities such as thinking, reasoning, remembering. You know, it's processing. Your brain is processing things. That makes sense. You know what I mean? But in this case, we're going to be dealing with cognitive learning. So think about it. If cognitive means brain activities dealing with thinking, remembering, processing, so cognitive learning will be how your brain is learning how to maximize your brain's full potential. Now, what I'm talking about that is, let's start from the very beginning. Let's take a little baby dealing with cognitive learning, because this video is learned bad behavior. Look at a little baby, right? A baby cries when they're hungry, because they can't talk. They cry when they're hungry. They cry when they need their pamper changed, if they're hurt or whatever. That makes sense. But, you know, we're all aware of how a baby will cry when they want attention. And if they happen to have an overly nurturing parent, such as a mom, right? Every time that baby cries, the mother picks the baby up. Oh, baby. Picks the baby up. Every time, because the baby has learned cognitive learning. I'm going to get what I want by crying. They can't talk. So they've learned at an early age, I get what I want when I keep crying. Cognitive learning. I remember me and my wife seen a rather funny video one day, right? It was of this little baby. The baby had just learned how to walk. You could tell she just learned how to walk. The little baby had went in between the bedroom door, and literally, you seen the mother was filming her. She put the door on her arm and then started crying. Cognitive learning. She's looking for attention. Remember, cognitive, brain activity dealing with thinking, reasoning, remembering. Cognitive learning. Your brain is learning how to maximize the full potential of the processing and learning. So this kid was doing cognitive learning. She wanted attention. And when the baby had took a stumble and fell, now the door wasn't on her arm anymore, she got up without crying, went right back over to the door, put the door back on her arm, and was like, I said, look at this crap here. She's learning at an early age, cognitive learning. I'm going to maximize what I've learned about thinking, remembering, and processing, how it worked last time I cried. Oh, this is how I get what I want. Watch this. And remember, it reminds me of an old movie. Let me see if any of y'all remember this movie here. The little boy was adopted, and the mother and father was arguing back and forth, this and that. And in the meantime, the little boy was just banging on the table, making a bunch of noise, and then he kept saying, apple juice, apple juice, apple juice, I want apple juice, I want apple juice, I want apple juice, apple juice, apple juice, apple juice, apple juice, apple juice, I want apple juice, I want apple juice, I want apple juice, right? And the mother arguing with her husband at the same time, she listened to the little boy yelling, apple juice, apple juice, apple juice, I want apple juice, I want apple juice, I want apple juice. Next thing you know, the mother grabbed her purse and stormed out of the door, damn near about to cry. And the father and her husband rushed after her, and he said to her, honey, where is you going? You know the first thing out that lady's mouth? She said, I'm going to get apple juice. That little kid had learned cognitive learning. He realized, I keep yelling and stomping for what I want. It worked all the other times I did this to my mommy. When he kept doing that, he realized cognitive learning. This helps maximize my brain's full potential to get what I want, to act a certain way. You see what I'm saying? If y'all didn't know, that movie was called Losing Isaiah. We thought that scene was so crazy. That was Academy Award scene when that lady said, I'm going to get apple juice. I was like, where you going? I'm going to get apple juice. Little kid broke her down. But let's go further. I remember even in high school, how girls learned cognitive learning to work in their favor. Remember, cognitive, your brain activity dealing with reasoning, thinking, remembering, and stuff like that. This what worked. Cognitive learning. When your brain focuses on maximizing its brain's full potential. So in other words, also with these girls, they realized this what worked. How can I make it work to my benefit? I remember in high school, watch this. Y'all know what I'm talking about with this, because I used to hate this. In high school, let's say the teacher said, it's Monday. And the teacher said, this Thursday, we got a test on a periodic table, for example, right? I was good with that back in the days. We got a test on 20 elements on a periodic table. You see me, I did the Shrek. Pick number 2, my lord. The dumb soldiers. But let me stick to the point. Soldiers were real dumb back in the days. But anyway, females used to do this cognitive learning thing. We got a test, 20 elements on a periodic table. But guess what? It'd be someone like Melissa would come to class that day before the teacher even come. She bragging, showing off her outfit and talking about last night's episode or whatever, right? Meanwhile, word get around class like, yo, y'all know it's a test today, right? Y'all know it's a test, right? Now all of a sudden it gets to Melissa. We got a test? Oh my gosh. And what happens? Her cognitive learning goes into play. Remember, your brain focuses on how to maximize its full potential. What worked for you last time? Well, you used that. Since she didn't study, Melissa used her cognitive learning and went up to the teacher like this. Oh, Mr. Such and Such, I'm just not, I got a lot of cramps. I'm not feeling good. And guess what? What do the teachers do? They fall for the nonsense and they tell her, well, here's a pass. You could go to the nurse, excluding her from taking the test. We seen Melissa later in the hallway laughing and joking, talking about how dumb we all is because she didn't study and ain't had to take the test. All she had to do is tell them she was on her period. You see how they use that crap? Cognitive learning. It maximizes your brain's full potential to make something work for you. Remember the title of the video, Learn Bad Behavior. And guess what? The next day, after seeing that work for her, the next day, Rhonda did that crap. Oh, teacher, my stomach, I think I'm on my period. And guess what? The next week, Tamika did it. And Tina did it. All of them started using this because they all realized after the other one, this cognitive learning, using our period as an excuse to get us out of doing our work. They used to get on my nerves how women always use this period crap. Guess what? Guess what, young boys, men, we gotta take the test. And if you ain't studied, guess what? You don't get to make up the test like them girls. They get to make it up the next day, next week, because they said they was on their period. See, but cognitive learning, it worked in their favor. Maximize the full potential of your brain activity. They realized this works. I could keep doing this. And the whole society always uses this. They keep playing on this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give y'all another movie dealing with that, with women with the period. Let me see if y'all remember this movie. I'm gonna try to do out the scene for you. Check this out. The girl was at work. She worked at a diner. And the guy was like this. He was just like the apple juice thing. The guy was like this. Can I get a coffee? Can I get a coffee? What do you gotta do around here to get a coffee? And the waitress, she was like this. Right? And then the other girl walked up to her. She said, oh my gosh, girl, are you okay? And then she said, yeah, girl, it's that time of month. And then the other girl said, I understand, girl. Me too. I was going through that too. She said, I'll tell you what, you take off work, girl. I got you. So now she took off work. She used that period crap, got off. But remember, as she was walking down the street, the dude was following her from behind. He was following her. He had a cast on his leg. And then when she turned around, she was like this. She was like, all this. It was stupid. And then all of a sudden, this fool, it was Damian Wayne. He said, oh man, girl, you got the devil in you. And then she said, no, crabs. And then she grabbed him, threw him up on the wall, remember? And then he was like, and then Kadeem Hardison's stupid butt comes from behind and hits her. Boop, knocks her out. And then remember, Damian Wayne said, yo, man, good thing you came, boy. And then Kadeem said, yeah, I know, man, because I heard you screaming all the way down the street. I wasn't screaming. He said, yes, you did. I heard you say, Lenny, come get this bitch up me. I said I wasn't screaming. I was whistling. But see, my point with that movie, you see, old girl wanted to get out of work, and she used the period thing. I'm on my period. See how they can use this? Cognitive learning. It works in your favor, therefore you could get off. Like I said, in high school, I used to hate that because when I had to study for the test, I expected to get good grades when I wasn't climbing around. But if I didn't study for the test, boy, I was in trouble. There was no way I was getting out of taking that test. I wound up having to do the best I could, whatever that would have been, and hopefully I could take a makeup test. But the girl gets out of it through her cognitive learning. Now we got all kind of cognitive learnings, but I'm just mentioning those because from the baby, even the baby knew this is what works. I'm gonna do it again. Apple juice, apple juice. That little boy, he knew this is what works. She jumps when I act a certain way. See, he remembered, cognitive. He remembered this is what works. The girl in high school, she remembered, use my period to get out of being responsible at taking your test. She remembered this is what works. Cognitive, remembering, thinking, processing. Cognitive learning, when you are focused on maximizing your brain's full potential of all that learning and reasoning and thinking to how it processes and working in your behavior. I just thought I'd give y'all a couple of those there. Something to think on. Now you learned a new word today. You may have heard it before, may not. I'll give you another one you hear with that same word cognitive is cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is when you are, let's say, a Trump supporter. All the evidence is right there. But when you show them the evidence, they still, no, I don't believe that. See, it's inconsistent. It's like when they show a citizen committing a crime, and it's clearly on tape, right? Clearly on tape, this kid is doing a crime, right? This person is doing a crime. And now the jury sees this in court, and they go, yup, we've seen the tape, he's guilty. But here's the cognitive dissonance. That officer doing the same crime, if not worse, but now the jury sees that, and they don't say what they said for the civilian. No, they say, oh, well, we got to see what happened before the tape cut on. Because we can't believe on what we just seen. Whoa. It's inconsistent. You said this person was guilty, then this one should be guilty. But now you're making excuses for this one. Therefore, you're inconsistent. Hey, man, I'm going to let y'all go with that one. As I always say, broaden your vocabulary. Learn different words every day. Never stop learning is the title of one of our videos. Check it out, especially for your kids. Use different words. Stop using words such as, yo, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yo, you know what I mean? You know, come on. Remember, we're getting older, more mature. That's why I do these videos, and that's why I give you a word of the day, and that's why I use it in a way that you should always be familiar with, that will make you remember. Cognitive thinking. Get what I'm saying? Cognitive learning. So now you say, yeah, I think cognitively. And on that note, subscribe, share, like, and comment. Peace.